Hey, good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Happy Monday. April 7th, 2025. How's everybody doing? Hey, Jim. Sorry, I'm a little bit, I need to take care of a couple of things here. Take that off and take this off. There we go. Okay, here we are. Good morning again, everybody. Hello, Nancy. Jim Gold, to mine, Bill, Allen, JW, Donna, good morning. Joe, Thomas, Chip, Sonny, good morning to everybody. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I hope all the rain that we've had has dried up for everybody. This is our first sunny day I think we've had in probably 4.5, 5 days. Man. Okay, so man, you wait. How much more can we go down in this market? The truth of it is we can go a lot more, and that's just a fact. Okay, and we could also stop today and we can take off to the upside. There's something that I've been thinking about this whole weekend long, and look, there's no doubt there's an awful lot of people say griping, complaining about this down move. Hey, I'm one of them. Um, but one thing that history tells us, and I think just trading in general tells us, is that if we're patient and if we're just hang tight, what will happen is we will have a maybe just a relief rally, but the relief rally could be um, absolutely amazing. Tons and tons of money can be made. Okay, so um, right now, pre-market here, we've gapped down to the 50% retracement of the top of the SPY to the 2022 lows. Now, I don't know if that means anything, but that's what we do when we look at charts. We look at, well, where have we been? Where, what lines are we on? What kind of support is out there? Things like that. And this is the one of the things I look for, but it means nothing without price action. So we need to wait for the price action. You need to wait. I need to wait for the setup to get in. And there are a tremendous amount of good quality stocks. I mean, good names that they're down only because of the current tariff war that's going on. And I that is likely to calm down. May not be today, might not be this week, but it is very likely to calm down a little bit. And when it does, that's when I think we're going to see some of these names move up. So let's, with the SPY here, probably one of the first things. Whoops, let me get this. One of the first things we need to do is get back through that 500 period moving average right there. We get above that 500 period moving average, we could have a little bit of a nice little relief rally. So what would that mean? All right, let's forget about the market for a second. There's my list here. Let's take a look at NVDA as an example. We're sitting right now on the 500 period moving average. And right there is the 50% retracement to the highs of NVIDIA, and we're at the 50 period moving average. If we just look at where we are today and up to that area, that's almost 40%. 40%. So even if we move down more, then the top line stays the same. We'll adjust the bottom line to that low, and that 50% retracement will follow the bottom line. So right now at almost 40%, that's amazing if you ask me. Now, believe me, I'm not saying run out there and let's buy NVIDIA today. No, because we don't have a buy signal. But at some point, this will happen, and all this we'll say bad. This will pass. This will pass. And some of the greatest and biggest money will be made in the I'll say the near future, okay? The near future might be 2 months from now, might even be 6 months from now, but that's, in terms of life, that's pretty near. So, I'm keeping my eye on things like NVDA, keeping some money on those sidelines and snap that up when the time comes. Meta, take a look at Meta. There's the 500 period moving average on the Meta. So, based on the moving averages, and if we're going to bounce off it, it could sneak down there a little bit more. I'm not worried about that because it's not a buy today. So, at least right now, it's not. But if we take Meta up to that 50% level, that's 24%, and up to the 50 period moving average is 32%. Again, and it's not just these stocks. There's tons of good quality stocks. One of the keys is to have a watch list full of these. You don't need hundreds, by the way. In fact, that's something I wouldn't recommend. What I would do is put some of your favorites, put some that are in your price range. For instance, Tesla. Well, Tesla might not be in your price range, but then again, TSLA might be in your price range. So for those of you that aren't Tesla haters, keep an eye on Tesla. We start moving up on Tesla. The 50% retracement is 34%. I'm sorry, the 50 period moving average is 34. And that 50% retracement is 51%. That's amazing. Hey, good morning, MW. Stefan, good morning. How are you guys doing? Hey, Vernon, how are you doing over there? Just, maybe, as a group, work together to put together a good group of good quality stocks that are just beat down, oversold, and then get ready for that rally to the upside. Take a look at Microsoft. There's Microsoft. So have we reached the bottom? Well, you don't know that. I get a lot of emails like you guys get, and a lot of questions. Have we reached the bottom? Is it time to buy? Yada, yada, yada. And you'll know when the price action tells you to. And just a little pre-market wimpy move is not what I would call a bottom in. Remember, we need a low, high, higher low, higher high. The brave souls can get out there and do that. But brave souls, okay? So even Microsoft, you look at Microsoft, we get up into this area, that's 14%. That's huge for Microsoft. And then we've got Amazon. Look at Amazon. Amazon is right at that 500 period moving average there. Whoops, I didn't do this one. Here, I'm going to switch to weekly real quick. Oh, and by the way, I'm having to use TC2000, the web version. I had a bit of a problem with it this weekend. Don't know what it is. I plan on calling TC2000 here in a little bit, seeing if I could get it squared away. So if the charts look a little bit different, it's because I am using the web form here. But anyway, here we go. And, whoops, get that out of the way. We start moving up that 50% retracement. There's 22%. The 50 period moving average is 28%. I think I need to delete that. There we go. Anyway, there's some amazing moves out there. Hey, MW, how are you? That ML, was it you that did mention that here? I don't know, several days ago. I can't remember now. It's not my kind of chart, but man, look at that thing. It is rocking, and it is popping up on the scanner this morning. In fact, I drew my little quadrant lines there, and you can see from the lows over here and the high, we've pulled back to that 50% retracement. We're in a 3/8 trap right now. So this MLGO, If you've been in it, congratulations. For anyone else that's been in it, super congratulations. But it might be setting up now for a possible, run to the top side. Keep your shorts in there. If it starts to fail, jump out of it. One of the keys to trading, and I think if you talk to most seasoned traders, and I say seasoned because they've been around the block, they've got the scars to back up what they say, is don't let your losses eat your profits. Always don't hang on to stock because of hope. Don't hang on to stock because somebody said to hang on to it. If you're a trader, if you're a long-termer, that's something different. But if you're a trader, hey, when it breaks some rules, get out of it because it will just suck the profits clean out of your pocket if you're not careful. So anyway, that's about what I have. Does anyone have any charts you need to look at here? Let me see if there's anything moving pre-market. Not a ton. METU. METU. So say Meta. So if you can't trade Meta because it's too expensive or something like that, well, let's just run down here and take a look at METU. $22 stock. If this turns out to be a bottom up to that 50% retracement, there we go. We're talking 57%. This is the kind of stuff that dreams are made of. So patience, stay patient. Stay patient. Keep powder dry. To hell with that. Keep some cash on the sidelines so you have it ready. All right. I think that's an important thing. AMD. Let's look at AMD. And AMD is one of these charts that I hear from people. They either love it or they hate it. It's kind of like Intel here. It's either a love-hate, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. Okay, fine. Or there's people that love it. When it starts to make that bottom in there, here, let me swing to this weekly chart. It's easier to do it with weekly, easier to see. So if we just took this high over here, 2024, and we're going to go to the candle that's not pre-market. I'm going to go to the candle that's real, that's been confirmed. And if we look at that, to the 50% retracement, that's 51%. Up to the 50% retracement, I said that down there, didn't I? 50 SMA was the first one. This is 70%. Absolutely amazing. So there is a lot of money to be made out there if we have the patience. Here's if you're wanting to trade Google and you find that Google's a little too expensive for you, well, here's another one. Try GGLL. Yeah, GGLL. There we go. You put that back on that daily. So where we are now, up to that 50% retracement in the 50 period moving average, over 50% on that. So like I say, when the time is right, things will start moving. Things will start moving. Until then, I think we have to respect the trend. And right now, T2123 is still saying the trend is down. You can see that VXX is still up. So what that's telling us that the sellers still have control. We don't have the buyers in there yet to do much bottom picking, I don't think. So remember, cash is a position. Hey, Rickster, good morning. Intel, let's look at Intel. There's Intel. Bottom pick, near big support here. I'm going to delete that. And then let's go to the weekly chart. If you look here, why didn't that delete? There you go. You're right. Whoops, I grabbed the wrong one. The web version here is a little bit different, a little bit slower. So I've got to be it's a little weird after using the main version of TC 2000. Anyway, look at that bottom being put in there. Come down here and tap, 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 tap. So we're putting that bottom. Yeah, you're right, Rickster. Thanks. So Intel, that becomes a big player back to the daily. If this thing starts to show some energy, a buy signal here, that's pretty amazing. I'm gonna go. Whoops, that's another thing you can't do the web version. There we go. Let's come over here, and we're going to take this top over here and come down. There we go, and then we'll go back to the daily. Man, you can't even. There we go. Shrink that up a little bit. So and you know, I'm going to take it from down here, but this is not the buy area. There's nothing about Intel that would suggest that this is the buy area. Maybe this is the bottom and we start rallying here from here. But at this point, it would be just guessing, just like guessing through here would be maybe. So, but if we have to measure from somewhere. So let's measure this. And just up to the 500 period moving average is 56%, 58%. And that 50% retracement puts you at 73%. So, like I said, it's patience and having some cash out there. Having a trading account is another thing. That's something that's important. Is when the market is down like this, there's no doubt that there's people that's lost their account. For that, I'm very, very sorry. But it happens. For those that can manage not to hurt their account and have some cash on the sidelines, there is some good trading that will come down the road. You watch and see. Rickster, yeah, you're saying above the 50. So I'll tell you what, let's go above the 200 period moving average here. Just to the 500 is 32%. 32, 34% up there. Truly amazing. Truly amazing here. So anyway, let's look at FIZZ. Yeah, take a look at FIBZ. We've got a nice bullish. Thank you. This is a nice one. A nice little bullish trend. Oh, and that's another thing. In any bear market, there's always going to be a bullish chart somewhere. You might have to hunt for them a little harder. You might have to trade them just slightly different, maybe a little tighter. But there's always a bull market out there. And this one here, man, this meets all my criteria. Nice. Thank you very much. So we've got price. It looks like pre-market here. We're over the T line, and T line is over the trend indicator right there. And it just makes for a sweet little setup. We're over the 50 period moving average. I love that too. This is a rounded bottom breakout setup here. You can see that bottom, what we've got going on here. So you can see the chart is trying to bottom. Buyers are grabbing it up here, and now there's enough buyers to push it to the top. So we're testing for 3 days. We've tested the dotted deuce here. Next target is going to be that 200 period moving average, and then we have the 500 period moving average up here as a target as well. Thank you very much. Nice chart there. Very nice. All righty. Anyone else with any charts? If not, we'll call it a morning. I can start my calling to. No doubt they're going to help me. I've already had a PM. What happened to TC 2000? I don't know. I did something to it. I blew it up, and so I'm just having to use the web version. For those that didn't know, by the way, that's pretty cool. If you're out and about somewhere on somebody else's computer or something like that, you can. On vacation or something, you didn't bring your computer. You can get on any computer and log in using the web version of TC 2000. Anyway, I think that's pretty cool. So it made my day go from, it made my yesterday, because that's when I did it, made my yesterday go from utter panic to, oh, okay, this is not so bad. So pretty neat. Anyway, have a great morning, everybody. We'll see you at the bottom of the hour when the market opens up. Thank you, everybody from YouTube and X for being here. Thanks, everybody in the trading room. Thank you, all members. I appreciate it. Well, I have a question down here. Thank you. Somebody thanking me for my updates. I appreciate that. Thank you. That means That means a lot. That just made my Monday. So I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. We'll see everybody. Okay. You guys all take care. Good trading. Thank you.